Hello, how you doing? We are continuing the caster role quests of Heavensward. That's right. And yeah, let's get to it. Yo, you are ever a sight for sore eyes. Ill tidings, my friends. I dispatched the Temple Knights to find the clergyman who aided in Bishop Vartanox's summoning attempt. Regrettably, when confronted, all turned and had to be put down. Without their accounts, how then to ascertain that the clone and Vanderdu are the same individual? Maintaining the assumption that they are, perhaps we should instead consider how Vanderdu may have found his way to Corthias. According to Yo's vision, he was abandoned in Aslia, but what did he do afterwards? Then there is but one way to ascertain the truth. We follow his trail. I shall go and search for his clone in Aslia. If he is still there, then we are dealing with a different individual. A splendid idea. We leave the floating continent in your capable hands. Meanwhile, Yo and I will retrace Vanadoo's steps when he first appeared. Upon being found in the Central Highlands, he was taken to Camp Dragonhead. Let us begin by making inquiries there. Well now, if it isn't the late Lord Harshavant's dear friend, is there something you require? Ah, yes, the mystery man. I was among those who tended him. He was not attired for the snow, much less the snowstorm in which he had been caught, and was suffering from frostbite. When people are extremely cold, they may mistakenly feel they are warm and disrobed. That might explain his state of undress. Your words were Nina has taught you about Vander's state when he was found. Investigating the stranger we found, are you? I wasn't involved myself, so I can't tell you much about the fellow. But in case it is of interest, earlier the same day, I caught sight of an airship flying dangerously low. It soon disappeared into the brewing snowstorm, looking none too steady. Your exchange with Thorbolin has taught you about an airship flying low. Ah, 'tis ever an honor to receive you. What brings you to our humble camp this day? An injured man who was found out in the wilds. Yes, I know the one. I was with the patrol that chanced into him north of here, at Providence Point. He was unconscious and in a bad way, and hurriedly bore him back to camp. After doing what we could for him, we sent him on to the city. Your exchange with Yell has taught you about where Van Dreo was found. There you are. Were you able to learn aught of interest? A mysterious man collapsed after an airship was seen flying low. Yes, the accounts I heard are consistent with yours. I, for one, am curious about the fate of this unknown airship. To that end, I have arranged a pair of black chocobos for us, the more efficiently to scour the area. We shall continue our search to the Providence Point, where Vanadru is said to have been found. If you are ready, let us be off. Nothing so far. Let us continue northeast. By the Fury, it's the blasphemy. His Eminence must protect His Eminence. Ah, you're finally awake. Alone be praised. How are you feeling? Strong enough to speak? Can you tell me your name? My name is... Zephron? No, Calbert. Or was it Verguin? Palserine? So many names swirling in my mind and voices that reject them. Is there none that will accept? Are you alright? Vandrew. My name is Vandrew. Well, now, that's the same as our infirmary. I dare say fate has guided you to us. So, Vandrew, if you are feeling up to a little conversation, can you tell me about yourself? Anything else you remember? Anything at all? A proud son of House Desmel, nay, a devout servant of Halone, who lives for the rush of battle. The pleasure is in inflicting pain, the attentions of maidens to fight beside my brother in arms. A low-born runt whose every effort went unrewarded, whose very name disqualified him from ever leading the temple knights, but his eminence raised me up, granted me a place at his side. From that day forth, I pledged my sword to his service, pledged my very being, my life to be offered up in defense of his. I am a knight of the Heavens Ward, sworn to protect and serve the Archbishop. Oh, you're a knight. Forgive me if that sounded rude, but I had no idea. And while I realize your memories may be a bit muddled, I'm afraid I must inform you that the Heavens Ward have not been seen in quite some time, and are presumed dead, and the Archbishop, well, he is most certainly no longer of this world. But the important thing is you're safe now, and we'll help you get back on your feet. Speaking of which, let me bring some food and water. You must be absolutely famished. The Archbishop dead? No, this cannot be. How can I still be alive when he is not? I must find him. Yo. For the glory of King Thoradin. Another vision, I take it. Let us make for Ishgard. I expect that Lord Artorial will return soon, if he has not already. And we should both be glad to hear your tale. Ah, yo, I pray your search was more productive than mine own. Everyone is here. Excellent. So were you able to find our clone in Aslia? Nay, not but the discarded Ascalon remain. How fared you with your own efforts in the Central Islands? In this course of retracing Vanadu's steps, we came upon the wreck of the Solel. I suspect he found the vessel abandoned in Aslia and tried to use it to return to Ishgard. But he crashed en route and was subsequently rescued by a patrol from Camp Dragonhead. So it would seem, and the Archbishop's airship was not the only thing we found. Profane Fafnir was there too. The creature chose to flee, but not before Yo had a vision of Vanadru's pass. Go on, my friend, share with us what you witnessed. All the pieces fit, and it is just as you surmised, my lord. Vanadru and the clone are one and the same, and in his despair he turned into the blasphemy. Yet the confusion he exhibited when they asked his name, 'tis as if he wasn't sure of his own identity. According to the Scions, primals retain the memories of their previous incarnations. From this, it may be assumed that the clone harbors the memories of all those who became King Thordan and the Knights 12. Though he struggled to reconcile these conflicting memories, he managed to settle on the name Vanadru. The voices within were clearly in agreement when facing Yo, the mere sight of whom drove the blasphemy to flee. Above all, however, they share in the desire to protect the Archbishop. This desire was seared into Vanadru's very being, and when he learned that he no longer had a purpose, the Heavens Ward took up arms against us and Ishgard. By their hand were we robbed of one of our finest knights and a dear friend. Even so, I would not wish such a terrible fate upon them. The self-same fate inflicted upon full many clergymen, and a fate I fear ordinary citizens will succumb to if we fail to act. The people will not soon forget the betrayal of our church's leadership, nor should they, but absent the comfort and stability once afforded to them by the institution, many have become lost and are all too vulnerable to despair. People don't have to forget, but they need to move forward. I thought as much myself, my friend, but to hear you say it as well. Indeed, when the ground upon which we stand crumbles, we find the strength to move forward, even should it cause us pain to do so. Lord Toriel, at the next house session, I shall call for an ecumenical council to be held. My lord, such a gathering is reserved for... Oh, you intend for the church to codify new doctrine. Since the separation of religion and state, we have refrained from interfering in church affairs. But if the church is to remain a part of Ishgardian society and continue serving the people, It must reconsider its role and formally address recent revelations. I would call for this council not as Lord Speaker, but as a humble adherent of the faith. Long had I considered whether such measures were necessary, but I lacked the courage to set them in motion. I now have it, thanks to you. I shall tend to the necessary preparations at once. Among other things, we must reach out to those of the clergy who are unamendable to reform. I ask for your patience in the meantime. Alright, just 2 more quests to go. But not the end of the video. Excuse me. Hello. Welcome. We're continuing Casserole Quest. This is the middle of the video. There's no need for an intro. Just different recordings combined into one. Owing to Lord Emmerich's swift action, I am pleased to say that the Ecumenical Council will soon be held. In case you are unaware, the Council is the highest assembly in the Ishgardian Orthodox Church. Its purpose to deliberate and decide upon doctrine. The previous one was held no less than 80 years ago, and 4 archbishops have since come and gone. As such, most Ishgardians know little of it save that which they have read in historical records. Traditionally, the Archbishop and the members of the Syod would meet behind closed doors. In light of Bishop Vartanak's fate, however, this time the doors will be thrown open to the public. Indeed, for the first time in history, all men and women of the faith may have a hand in shaping the mission and teachings of the Church. 'Tis my hope that you will also join us in this endeavor. Deacon Clem, allow me to express our gratitude for your efforts in facilitating the council. We appreciate the difficulty of your position. I merely heed my conscience and faith, my lord. Acting in Bishop Arx's stead, I shall do all within my power to see that the Church may serve the people more. Where is the Lord Speaker, if I may ask? He stepped outside for a moment, saying that he wished to gather his thoughts ahead of the council. The hour draws nigh, however. I shall proceed to the vault with the good deacon. In the meantime, may I ask you to find Lord Emmerich? He should be at the last vigil, I believe. be right back. Okay, I'm back. Oh, tis you, my friend. Is it time already? I see. My apologies for making you come and fetch me. I have been thinking, on the path I have chosen to walk and those who have been left behind as a consequence of my actions. Those who died fighting, those burdened with boundless grief, those deprived of position and purpose. Like any nation, Ishgard made up of desperate souls with disparate beliefs. Without an enemy to unite us, we recall the differences we once set aside out of necessity, and find amongst our old friends new ideological foes. The future I had envisioned, 'tis far more difficult to secure than I ever imagined. What must I do for our people to live in harmony, for our nation to move forward as one? Such questions I have been pondering. We should begin making our way to the council. Shall we continue our conversation while we walk? Ready? Then let us be off. If it is agreeable, I would like to look at Fortemps Manor. Though we haven't much time, I'm glad for the opportunity to stroll about the city with you. Now then, shall we continue on to Oh, I thought that was a repeatable dialogue, my bad. Architects? Shit, and the thing disappeared. I'll never know. King Thornton and his knights 12, the murderers of Ratzakur. Since the truth of their ancient crime came to light, many have demanded that these images be torn down. Yet, though what our founding fathers did was wrong, neither is it right to simply expunge them and their deeds from history. To do so would be to deny our people's part in what followed for 1,000 years. We have the chance to forge a new future, but we as a nation must decide how we will confront our past. Forgive me, I was lost in thought yet again. Let us join Deacon Clem at the vault. There you are, my friends. The council is about to convene. Take your let us take our place in the audience hall. Esteemed members of the clergy and honored adherents of the faith, I thank you all for your attendance. In recent days, our nation has been racked by a series of tragedies. Those among us who do Halon's work have been transformed into abominations. This dreadful phenomenon has been brought about by the final days, and it is upon our despair and anguish that it feeds. Thus, if we are to prevent further tragedy, we must strive to ensure that all Ishgardians, clergymen, and citizens alike abide with peace and love for one another in their hearts. To that end, I have called this ecumenical council the first in generations, that we might together determine a path forward for the church and society as a whole. Since antiquity, the Ishgardian Orthodox Church served the people in two respects: as the Fury Spear to strike at the heart of dragonkind, and as the Fury Shield to safeguard the souls of men. But now that we are at peace with Dravanians, the Church need no longer serve as the spear, and so we must now reconsider how we might better serve as a shield for our brethren. The hierarchy must be reformed, and for that we need accountability. The upper echelon must be stripped of rank at a minimum, and investigations conducted, trials held. If the evidence is sufficiently damning, and then we may turn our attention to the doctrine of lies. As our predecessors did before us, we of the Synod have ever sought to interpret the scriptures to the best of our ability, and thence conveyed Halon's will to the people. Such fervent pursuit of retribution at the expense of doctrine would come also at the expense of our faith. God fucking damn it. Oh. I'm gonna pause the video. Okay, I made it back to this. Have we won the war to lose our souls? Oh, Halon, are we outside your grace? This bodes ill. At this rate, someone might turn. Since the war's end, the Church and the faithful have stood at crossroads, unable to take the next step forward. His Grace Bishop Vartnox, may he walk in Halon's halls, was one such soul. And his longing for simpler times, he resorted to using forbidden magics he succumbed to despair. In our minds, we renounce the lies upon which our nation was built, and in our hearts we yearn for the righteousness, misguided though it was, that gave us comfort and purpose for so long. So let us not forget who we were. Let us confront the mistakes of the past and learn from them, that we do not repeat the same mistakes of our forefathers. As fervently as we believed in our sacred duty, we struggle to accept the Church's deception and embrace change. The legacy of Thornton weighs heavy, and there is the temptation to simply cast it aside like a mantle that suits us no longer. Yet that would dishonor the sacrifice of those who went before, countless souls who served the people with purest intent. And so, heavy though it may be, let us together bear this burden as we set forth anew. Our friend Yo risked life and limb to reveal the truth to us, the truth that our legend and our sculpture were tainted by betrayal, but not wholly corrupted. Though the great walls and towering spires of our city may have been built with murder and deception, they rest upon a foundation immutable and true. Our devotion to alone whom we have worshipped since before our forefathers settled these lands. The Church is a font of practical wisdom, and its teachings guide us in our daily lives. Such things define our faith no less than the lies, and we can acknowledge our sins without renouncing our religion. Aye, and without rejecting who we are. A comprehensive review of the scripture as well as historical literature will be necessary. Revisions as appropriate must be made to ensure that the truth of our past is preserved for future generations. With your peerless knowledge of Church doctrine, I dare say none is better suited to leading that effort than you. I also expect that many eyes will be required to pore over all the tomes, and I know how idle men and women of faith who would jump at the chance to do Alone's work once more. That day so very long ago, I had no answers to my father's words, but it seems the people had it within them all along. Okay, I gotta watch my sister in a sec. Let me pause. With this, the Church and the people have taken their first steps towards a brighter future. 'Tis well Lord Emmerich interjected when he did. The council went better than I had dared hope. Truly, while the details remained to be decided, 'twas a resounding success. Your words helped everyone to find common ground. I know not how to thank you. Much credit must go to Yo. In the face of great hardship, never did she hesitate to press on, and our people have not forgotten this. Indeed, will due to I remember the day and flew into Ishgard upon a dragon's back. I do remember the day that I flew on dragon's back. In making possible the impossible, you inspired us all. In you, we glimpsed a fury, a vision of courage in the face of uncertainty. Looking to your example, we endeavor to bring about change to the church for the future of all Ishgardians. There will, of course, still be those souls who struggle to rise above the mire of despair, but my fellows and I shall be there to take their hand in faith and love. For what is faith if not salvation? Well, I had best return to the cathedral. We have much and more to do. But ere I forget, I have tracked down that which you requested. Some repairs will be necessary, but it will be seen to with all haste. I had tasked the decision with finding a certain item, you see. A secret weapon, one might say. Given what we know of profane Fenrir, I suspect it will be of great use in our hunt. Once the repairs are complete, we shall be ready to strike. With the church having reached an accord with the people, the risk of more clergymen tuning is greatly diminished. We may now focus entirely on the blasphemy. 'Tis time we freed Van Edru from his torment. Rest while you can, Yo, for I dare say the coming battle will demand the best of us. Okay. That's gonna do it for this episode. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one, I hope. Take care. Peace. Hello. Welcome. This is a series that I'm gonna have to record over a length of time. So each job quest is going to be a different point in time, but that's just because I got a level to get there. But let's get to it. Yeah, 54. Level 54 Bard. Here we go. Good tidings, Yo. We've received information from Sir Altmerian regarding the Ballad of Oblivion. You will recall the woman he mentioned, the one who sends souls unto the heavens with a song. She is apparently a soldier stationed at the Convictory. Let us go there at once. Gildilot, are you coming with us? Well, if you're not up to it, I won't press you. A song isn't something you can force out of someone. I'm sorry, but the answer is no. We have found the soldier, yo. Kalain is her name. Alas, she admits to singing the song and refuses to teach it to us. Gudula is doing his best to coax it out of her. For once, his way with women may serve an honorable cause. You won't sing for us. I don't have a problem with that. But could you at least tell us why? It'd help ease our disappointment. I'm not a bard, just a simple soldier, and it isn't a song I would willingly sing. The lady has spoken. Seems to me there is nothing else we can do. You would give up just like that? We have a duty to accomplish. Begging your pardons, but your comrade gave me to understand that an operation is due to be conducted presently. Aye, dragon numbers are on the rise and we go to cull them. If you are not adverse, we would lend you our aid. The operation would be better for the extra hands, and should you have occasion to employ the song in battle, we would be able to hear it. Very well. You may join us, but on one condition. You are to provide our forces with support only. Alright, we have work to do. The operation will take place at Twin Poles, to the north and west. Let us present ourselves to the commander and offer him our aid. And he throws a hissy fit when I do something spontaneous. Well, let's make ourselves useful. The one and the only way a bard can. Rest assured, I don't plan on charging into the fray. No, sir, I'm content to stand back and strum out a song or three. This is rather sudden, I know full well, but it was for the sake of our mission. Remember, you're to provide support only. You would join us in the call. The Holy See thanks you. Seeing as you are skilled in the bow, you may help us by thinning out the beasts. I shall mark a spot on your map. Pray focus your efforts upon this area. I shall remain close by, in case you have occasion to employ the song. Do as you will, just see that you will not overreach yourself. Go to our assigned positions, do what we always do. Seems straightforward enough. Seeing... Again, so many lives lost. Forgot to eat my food. Cole's finally over. I had no idea dragons were so bloody tough, and those were the lesser ones. Not once did Celine perform the song, and though the operation itself was a success, her people suffered heavy losses. Farewell, my friends. Your sacrifice will not be forgotten. Rest now, O valiant souls. Lay down your weary heads. Go unto the bosom of the Fury, in those who exalted name you bled. A requiem. The song to send souls unto the heavens. This is what it was. I was trying to make you sing a song of mourning. God struck me down for a callous fool. For once, Sanson has it right. Let's show our respect to Celine's fallen comrades. Again, so many lives lost. Salute. You need not feel bad. The fault is mine for not offering a proper explanation. Men fall far too often in this war we wage. Wishing to spare myself the pain of loss, I've kept my comrades at a distance. Yet I always find myself racked with regret that I didn't reach out to them before they were taken. Aye, far better to taste pain than to live with regret. There's no need to deprive yourself of the joy of friendship. I won't. Not anymore. I shall learn to savor the time I have with my comrades, as should you. The two of you bicker like an old couple, but life is too short to waste squabbling with your own. So cast aside your differences and have the joy of each other's company while you still can. As for the requiem I sang, I was taught to me by a scholar of Ishgardian history. If there is a man alive who knows the song you seek, it will be he. Sylvie is his name, and you will find him at Tailfeather. I suggest you pay him a visit. I will take my leave of you. Let us go to Tailfeather as Saline recommends. This Sylvie may know the song, and failing that, he may at least be able to direct us to it. It's the fervent desire to aid our comrades that bestows our songs with power. It makes me wonder what sort of desire is needed for a song that destroys all. I'm playing around with chords to accompany Celine's melody. It appears Sylvie is presently afield on one of his surveys. We must await his return. Tell me, what thoughts have you on Celine's inner struggles? Well, you know, that's some deep stuff, sister. Truly insightful. A pity that all's lost on Samson. The bastard's got eyes for naught but his bloody tome. Our mission takes us into even more perilous territory. Grace you are fully prepared for the trials ahead. What do you do? Well, you're just a straight up ability. Okay. Well. Okay, yeah. When you remember that you're still recording. Okay. Actually, yeah, that's the end of this part of the video.